like there are no dependencies. Yeah, you can go ahead, take the leave, something like that. Or like, no, you definitely there is some function or there is some speech you need to do it today. Already I have told you yesterday, and why are you taking leave? So there are some kinds of choices the class teacher can make, right? Yeah. So similarly, here in Salesforce, there is an approval process. So this can be on any object or standard or custom object. Okay. So the process. Let me open this. So what it says, customize how records get approved. Okay. After that, define an approval process. Yeah, definitely there should be a process, right? It's not in the air. You say to Salesforce, say Salesforce, please approve it. So there is a process we need to follow. So there are few conditions, few criteria we need to say, right? Um, so similarly, like that, get started. The approval process automates how Salesforce records are approved in your org. Suppose, like I take the same example. Um, Suppose there is a object called let's say an example. Uh, so there is an object called price. Okay, price. So there are few products under that, any kind of product to be like how we do our shopping, right? So shirts, trousers, um, belt, shoes. So in that case, if in case the suppose we select any product like shoes, if the shoes are greater than 500 rupees, let's say. So I'll put a sentence. If the shoes are greater than 500 rupees, send a notification to the user. So this is the requirement. Now, how do you put it in approval process? So when I say the shoes condition, right? So shoes price is greater than 500 rupees. Okay, this is the condition what I'm saying there. So here also we need to give a condition. It's not like every record gets created, send notification to everyone in the organization. It is like a junk data, right? Why do we need to create all the approvals or send notifications or any action? So not only email. So there are few actions this approval process can do. So we need to put a condition. Otherwise, it will work for any record created, any record it is edited, someone gives any update, it will send notification. Someone deletes the record, it will send notification. Someone updates any field value at the front end or back end, create data loader, it will send notification. It is waste. So we need to give a condition. So that criteria, what we call. So here, for any record to execute with this approval process, we need to give a criteria. So that is all it says. So approved in your approval process, you specify the steps necessary for a record to be approved and who approves it. Yeah. So now, and you need to specifically mention whose approval you need. Like is it a class teacher or headmaster or specific subjects teacher you wanted to give. So just like example I'm saying. So here in your org we will have, right? So who is the manager, or you can give any contacts. uh, we have contact object, right? We can give that contact any contact in your approval process. Like see again I'm saying, so in user record also you'll have manager there. So you need to specify whose approval you are waiting for. So that is what it says, who approves it at each step. For example, when an employee creates a time off request, basically the leave thing, have Salesforce automatically send an approval request to the employee's manager. So definitely, when he applies any time off request, like any timesheet they are maintaining there, or as soon as he gives the like generally any application will ask what is the time period from this Feb Feb 10 to Feb 14. We wanted to take leave, so it will ask for basic conditions from how many days and what is at least like reason to do. Then at the end it will ask for the approver name. So as soon as you click on like save or next or finish, Salesforce will send that notification to your approver. So approver, who is here? Your suppose in this example it is your manager. So in this first line, you learn two things. One is any record can be sent for approval. Any record, so it could be whatever you are going to create, it can be sent for approval. And next thing is like here, who needs to be the approver. You can give any kind of name there. Okay. And second, the actions to take based on what happens during the approval process. The actions. Actions means there are basically 4 kinds of actions this approval process can do. Like I said, one of the examples so far discussed is on the email. As soon as you get created, record got created, and when the criteria is met, send the notification to the manager. So that is one action. Similarly, a field also can be updated. See, suppose if you saved, like if you created a record and give basic conditions there in the required fields and everything, normal how you do, like create a record and click on save. As soon as you save any record, we can give a action in approval process to update any other field in any other object. Suppose there is an employment object in our org, we know that. So as soon as you create any employment, any employee's details there, right? As you'll give normal details like what is the joining date, or when is he, what department is he, all the things you'll give and click save. So I will write one approval process in the condition after. So there is a way we can write that. One of the actions. So as soon as you click on save for this employment record, you need to update some other field in job object. Yes, that we can do. It is approval process. So far 2. One is email, and we can update a field. We can also send what is third one here? I think you can outbound message here. See. So basically 4 actions this approval process can do. Where is it mentioned? One is field update, second is email notification, third is outbound message. So outbound
we can
message,
also create tasks.
yeah, we can also create tasks. Yeah, that's good. Nice. Task in the sense, again, like we can assign any task related things to any of the user in our org. Yeah. So these are the 4 things. Outbound message, yeah, it is something related to integration. Okay, if our Salesforce org is connected to any, like last time I remember also saying on the billing system, right? So you can send. Oh, okay. In normal cases, you cannot send any notification to any system outside of Salesforce. That we cannot do. But there is a way. So that is what we call outbound message. Outbound. Salesforce is sending outbound to any other integrated system like billing or any technical inventory system. Like we will have different systems integration. So that is the outbound message. Yeah, the same thing here. Approval steps is approval requests to various users. Approval request to various users and define the chain of approval. So, yeah. For a particular approval, in this example, the first step assigns the approval request to the submitter's direct manager. So where it will be, again, the terms you need to notice here. Submitter is someone submits that request, submits that approval process. He is called submitter. Approver is something like we basically assign any user in the approval process, right? So that is what basically what this approval process does. We give it he is called as approver. And if the direct manager rejects the request, like I said in the beginning of the call, right? So class teacher might approve or might not approve. Might not approve means reject. So basically, no, you cannot take leave. You must assign. So he can reject. So that thing also you need to specify while you are creating the approval process. there is a possibility that manager can, not only manager, I can say like approver can reject your status approval process also. So the final rejection action is executed, setting the positions approval status to rejected. Yeah, basically. So I said, right, how then, now you might have got a question. How does the manager know about your approval process, and or whether he needs to approve or reject it, right? So that is one of the actions in notification, what we say out of the 4 actions. So if you send that notification, then he'll obviously he might have got an email. So and so user, so and so employee is asking for a leave. What should I do? So then approval can either reject or approve the request. And again, here you can make a like a what we say, we can like okay, have you learned about classic template? Yeah, I was searching here. So have you learned about this, anything about classic like email templates? As soon as you click in the template, you'll have this on this.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, that's good. So email templates. So these are like predefined templates what we sometimes a system will give, or we would have created, yeah, other right solutions.
Basically, we can create 4 types of email templates here.
HTML, yeah, normal text, yeah, yes, that's right. So as soon as you click, so I'll quickly show those who do not know. Yeah, text, HTML. HTML is something like you can use links also in your body of the email. The custom is same thing again without classic thread. And Visualforce. Have you learned anything about Visualforce so far?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah, we'll learn that about. Visualforce is something like a not completely coded part, but yes, it is a bit easier than the actual Apex. Okay, Visualforce also we can. Okay, just a background. Right? Force. This is like a page only, but Visualforce page is something different. Okay, we'll discuss some other time. Now we will see as a text, and so these are the 4 types. Someone was pointing out: text, HTML, custom, and Visualforce. So in this way, we can create our own email template, or any predefined template there. We can use the while he wants to approve. Where is that guy? Yeah, this guy. So he don't want to type every time like this. So and so I'm approving this, and so and so reason I'm rejecting this. He can the manager can use a predefined template and send it as soon as he okay with the request, or if he wants to reject the request. That is about the pre-step you wanted to know about the classic email template, like basically a template before learning about this approval process. Yes, if the direct manager approves the request, the record moves to the next step approval from the CEO. If the CEO rejects the invitation, the same final reaction occurs. Here, basically, you can add 2-step approval also. If the direct manager approves the request, then it should. So basically, a few requests might need more than one approver's approval. So here, this is scenario. He's saying the possibility we can use 2-step approval also. If the direct manager approval, the record moves to the next step approval. So this is not like mandatory. You need to give set for any approval process. You can, like it's a choice. You can add 2 or more. Sorry, 1 or more. 1 is also enough. Salesforce will not ask you. You need to go definitely for the 2-step approval. If the CEO rejects, sometimes this is the case. If your direct manager approves, but the guy CEO does not want to approve it, this is a requirement. Like you can add 2-step approval also. Sometimes the CEO might not accept your approval. If the CEO approves, the final approval and actions are executed. In case of 2-step, direct manager approves and CEO also approves. then definitely it is final approval actions are executed. See here, okay, you need to be very careful. Final approval actions. So here also we can set actions. See, not only when you're sending for the approval, there are actions, but also once it is approved, then also you can set actions. Even one step or two steps. So these actions is different from your actions here. So see, obviously your approval process will give you 4 actions, like I said, right? All. So this is in the process of approval. So this whether we need to send sorry, field update or email template or outbound message or task. So that this action says here. But even after it is approved, then also we can set few actions. Okay. So here also you can say set few actions or even after approved that your request. They set the approved status to approve, unlock the record for future updates. This okay, unlocking, locking. So what does this say is, let's say the same example. Suppose you have a timesheet in your company where you're working. You applied for 3 days leave or 1 day leave, basically your normal 1 day leave, okay? And your request was approved by your manager, well and good, and you are taking the leave. See, now it is very important to lock that record once it is approved. See, otherwise what it happens is, if we did not lock that record, see, your manager approved for 1 day. You can go to your request and set it like put a 0 after that. It will become 10. You can take 10 days leave. Happy vacation, right? So you have a proof also. My manager approved for 10 days leaves. Right? So that's why we need to lock the record once it is approved. Correct? So this is
Actually, Srikant, I didn't get your point. Could you please explain
sure,
one more
sure.
time?
See, I'm taking same example again. So you have applied. Now you know you are working in an organization. You applied for 1 day leave, and it went all through the approval process, and your manager approved it. Everything went well. So that we are on the same day. So afternoon, what you did, you went to your request, what you have submitted. It is approved. You are happy there, and you are editing the record and changing it 1 to 10. You just added a 0, 10. Now, what does that record says now? Your manager approved for 10 days leave. See, this is the harm. This is the harm whenever you lock or unlock that record. So that also you can give when you create the approval process. Giving the actions here. You need to make sure it lock that record. So there is an option you can lock that record. And what if, so why did Salesforce give this lock and unlock records if something is, just for an example, I said leaves. So leaves is something not causing any damage to the organization or any system, right? But what if in real life we are working with some dollars of company? Why did Salesforce give this lock and unlock feature? Here, Salesforce will give 2 options while creating that approval process. Like only you, like who is submitting that. So that is what I said, right? Here, submitter. So whether submitter can edit the record or your approver needs to edit that record. Salesforce will give that option. That's why there is an option like lock and unlock that record. So if suppose, yeah, let's take that same example only. If you want to, no, I'm not approving your, like reject, basically. Manager is rejecting your leave request. Then obviously he needs to edit that record with the submitter. Suppose he applied for 3 days leave and manager, no, I don't, I'm not happy for you going out for 3 days. Take only 1 day leave. Then first he'll reject, and then the record will be unlocked for that submitter. Then he can submit it again, changing 3 to 1. Yeah, there are two things you need to catch here. First, who whether submitter and manage approver both needs to edit, both can unlock that record, or only manager can unlock that record. That option you can give. And another reason is when manager rejects that request, obviously we need to allow the submitter to edit that record. So that means we are unlocking that record. So, and here also you need to be careful. While submitting, you cannot like give an unlock option. But after rejection, you can give the unlock option, and not even approved also. So 3 ways you can give the um, this unlock or lock option. Again, I repeat, while you are submitting still in the process, then you cannot give it as option to unlock that record. Once you submit it, then it is up to manager's hands. You don't want to edit that record also. You don't want to give that unlock option. And once it is approved also, you should not give it as you give that record an option to unlock. But definitely once it is rejected, you need to, like, you must give that record an unlock option. Otherwise, how would the next step or next step process begins? Clear on these 3 points, like why unlock?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. That is what this says. Yeah, final approval options occur only when a record is approved and no further action approval steps. Obviously, once it is approved, he cannot like again reject it, right? So once it is approved, it is approved. That's it.
Okay, but if the approver is in leave, then what happens?
No, that's a normal scenario. I said I took an example. So as long as he, so until the approver approves your request, that will not go further. The request will not go further. Definitely, he needs to approve or reject it.
Okay, so let us suppose if a approver is in holiday or is in leave.
Okay.
So can I mention it to another one? Means can I assign?
If he is on leave, okay, you're saying let's say he is in a position that he cannot approve, but your request is like urgent.
Yes.
When a record is approved, you cannot change the approver. Once it is submitted, you cannot edit it also. Then you cannot change the approver. Submitter will have option, I think. Okay, it is not mentioned anywhere. Wait, let me think. Actually, whenever he sends for approver, like the submitter, till they gets the approved in this process, it will be like even Salesforce will not give it unlock option. It will always be locked. Let me see if we can change that approver, or if there is any like I said, two-step approval. Even for two-step approval, it should go first, the first approver. Let's check and come back. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Obviously, cannot edit that. Okay. Okay. So yes, that is up to the up to that record got approved. Build an approval process. Now that you have seen with okay, no problem. Let's go. Oh yeah, this is all thing you can do. Ta-da. My approval is this. So can we? Let's see. Approval. Okay. So this is how your approval process looks. And yeah, I forgot to mention. So you need to select an object. Otherwise, like so, if you you cannot use the same approval process for a different object. If you want to create approval process, same approval process for another, then definitely you have to create another approval process for another object. Again, I repeat, you cannot use the same approval process, whatever you have defined with the criteria or the approver or all the steps that I mentioned, rejections, all the things. You cannot use it for another object. So that is why while you are creating that approval process only, you need to specify what object for what object you are going to create the approval process. Suppose I'll take an example of our employee. Is there any condition I can mention which object has job? So as you know, select the object here. Something a button is there, right? Create new approval process. Okay, these two: use Jumpstart Wizard or use Standard Setup Wizard. So Jumpstart Wizard means already Salesforce would have given like default values, default criteria or something like that. So, but you do not want to go for Jumpstart. Okay, always use Standard Setup. It is all you define in your approval process. Jumpstart is already Salesforce. They have given few default values like criteria or will you assume like less options for you to configure this approval process. Okay, don't go for it. If at all whatever you want or whatever the criteria you give, then go for Standard Setup. Obviously, now the demo approval process. Okay. Click next. See, first step is give the name. Second step is specify your criteria. Like you need to give the criteria as when should your approval process should work. That's why here also there will be two options. One is criteria, like here you can Salesforce already gives few operations like there is greater than equal to the mathematical calculations, or you can use our normal formula. Okay, this one you're familiar with, right? You can give a normal formula or formula also, like not conditions or any condition. So okay, and I highly recommend you to all go through these formulas and what each formula does. See, so these are very very helpful, and each formula should be on your fingertips. Okay, what does this do? This. Please go through. There are lots of formulas here, and very useful formulas also. And each depending on your header, will have different formulas. I think you are very familiar with this. Insert the record operator. So for now, I'll go for the criteria met. So here. So when should we create, suppose department, yeah, department. Suppose department is, okay, do we have something like, what was the department? HR. What is? So this is the criteria. You are, I think you're very familiar with this page, like criteria met and this is. So you can give multiple formulas also and conditions. So now I'm going to write an approval process under job object when department contains or equals whatever conditions you give. Same thing like HR. And since that was epic list, it was showing here. Otherwise, you can give normal text thing also. Second step is done. You defined your criteria. Now see here, third step, select, specify approver field and record editable properties. Okay. Next, automated approval determined by this guy. So yeah, here you can use standard fields, custom fields also you can use new handle. Oh yeah, this is where I said, right? So two-step approver. So obviously you can give one manager field. So how is this manager? So what does this manager give? It is in your users record, there is more manager, right? So that is this manager. And you can give normal two-step also. Select the label for the new hierarchy field. Select the label. This is where the two-step was defined, but let me come back how to actually I did not try anything for the two-step. So for now, you can give manager is approver field of job owner. Now basically job owner means who are creating this, who have created that job record, right? So that users, so there will be owner. So you know that, right? It is not always a record. See, obviously when you create a record, you will be his owner, that record's owner, and we can change the owner also. So in this case, you can either check this box or not. So what does it say is use approver field of job owner. So as I said, we can change the owner of any record that administrators can do. So not always whoever creates that record is the owner of that record. Again, so sometimes if the owner is different of the record who created, then you can give this checkbox approver. So now who is the new owner? That owner's approver, manager will get the so this notification, whatever we are going to do. And here record editable properties, yeah, these two I said, right? So here and that unlock things. So administrators only can edit records during the approval process. Here, don't get confused. Administrator is not like our system administrator. In a way it is, but here administrators means who are who is the submitter of this approval process. Suppose if any record is a job, right? So job who creates a job record, then he is called as administrator. And obviously administrator generally like our system administrator profile we have, right? See, they will obviously have the change the approval process and everything. So here administrators means who is create that record. So in general we can say who is the submitter of this approval process. And second option I said administrator or the currently assigned approver like manager also can edit that record during the approval process. So in this way we can give like Salesforce will give you two options. I can see obviously administrator or this guy approver also can edit that record. Next, so 3 steps are completed. Yeah, template. So that's why I said you need to know about the templates. So we can write a body of the template like so and so whatever you can have that right in your template. You can create a template and assign here, or you can use the already defined templates. I'll select anything here and click next. 4 steps are done. Select fields to display on approval page layout. Okay, don't get confused. This page layout, not exactly our page layout. So what it says, whenever you submit for any request, right, like I said, the job record got created with contains HR department, so only HR department records. So that whenever that record got created, not all fields are required for approval. So you can select whichever fields in that record to be sent to that approver. So that also Salesforce is giving you. Not everything, every information is not required for him to approve. So just like job owner and or like what is the effective date, important thing, and when it was he hired. So this is enough for him to approve for a HR department. And obviously this we can change up and down. Okay. So Salesforce is giving you an option like don't send much data. Just make this simple. Make it simple. Okay. So that is what it says. Approval page field. So this is all like that how page layout we can edit and customize, right? The same thing it is showing here. So this is a different page layout, not your normal page. Page layout means like how this guy like approver should see your request. So that is what it says. Everything about that. Security settings to access, allow approvers to access their approval page only from within. This is something like, see, suppose your approver has Salesforce installed in his mobile. Then we can give a condition like choice for him to approve outside of Salesforce application. Obviously, your Salesforce application, you go through the browser and then you can work on all the things, right? Suppose if it is something urgent and your manager obviously will have the Salesforce installed in your mobile, then you are giving a additional step. So even if he logs in any external application, then also he can still approve. This is that thing. Obviously, now you will give this. You can either see here recommended. So that's nice. So that is also we can control by the Salesforce. So this approval process. So very last step is specify initial submitters. Okay. See, approval process. So, okay, one thing maybe I forgot. So, approval process, so basically, obviously, like developers will create that approval process, right? Whatever in your org. So, developers are not going to create that records in real life. Obviously, users will be there. That's the reason. Yes. Okay. Obviously, developers, so approval process and all the code functional things, all developers only will do, right? But developers are not the ones who creates the records and submits for approval in like actual in real life, right? So that's why the Salesforce is giving who can submit this approval process you are going to create, like who all can create for the job object. So that's why here owner means obviously that record owner. So here multiple things he's giving here. Owner means obviously that owner can only that owner will be able to create that approval process, or not create approval process. He can like all the process. What I'm saying, like if at all a job object a record is created with the HR department, this process should get executed. Okay, so not only owner or public rules, you can give any role, whatever roles you have, right? Everything will show here, or any specific user only. So whoever creates that record for job object, this approval process should be sent by suppose this Ashwita Kumar Tiwari. So in that case, like this is very like what we say more security for this job object. Okay, so then only we'll go user, but normally we will not go to this user. Like if it is something more securely that record is created, then we will go for users. Otherwise, like normal user. So that just say features is what is giving. You can like select like this also. So I mean, this okay. Allow submitters to recall. Okay, recall. Do you know what is recall?
Yes.
Can you explain it?
If you want it to return back, means you don't want to submit it.
Correct. Correct. So in your normal Outlook also email, right? You can have a option like recall. So see, suppose I typed something wrong in an email and clicked on send. It's sent already, but there will be an option in Outlook if you have seen or not. We can recall the email what you sent, but this recall will be success. You will get a success response also, or failure response, like whether that reader or the recipient read your email or not. If he has not read your email, um, you will get a response like success recall. If the recipient already saw your email that you typed something wrong, then you will get the response like um, recall failure, something like that. Okay, so basically that is what recall says. Recall, you can even recall your approval. Suppose you created all this and you got the job record created, and you job record created with HR department, everything is done, and you click accidentally on the approval process. Then you can have an option like submitters. Yeah, only the submitter, and obviously you would have already defined who is the submitter here. So if you click this, you can have an option. There's an additional feature, like not only what emails and other stuff has. Okay, so like just like in WhatsApp, we can delete, right? So here we cannot delete, but recall will obviously delete that request to your manager. Okay, and I think step 6 of 6, everything is done here. Just click save and you will get saved. And this is like demo I'm saying, right? Okay, so that is how an approval 6 steps are there. Okay.